Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunnavadi Paschata Deshatari Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev Hare Krishna Thakur Prabhu Charles Kamania Krishna Prabhu Rati Bilashi Devi
Prabhuji, I say more businesses and
Jai
those who should have Prabhupada.
Jai
So
Thank you Prabhu
I'll take that time to tune in for a bit. Not sure I'll be here for all of it, but I see what I can manage. But thanks for the
Wonderful.
song.
Thank
Hare
you
Krishna.
Prabhu. Thank you Hare
Yeah.
Krishna. So we left with the 9th chapter 30th verse. So we're going to refresh about 9th chapter. 9th chapter is so wonderful. And then we'll catch up with the text 30. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritam Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtraprayesu Abhadresu Nitam Bhagavato Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistaki Mukhaṁ karati vācālam pangulangayate girim jatkripatamaham bande Sri Guru Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Isharam Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunnavadi Paschat Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhesha Kripa Sindhu Bhaivacha Patitanam Pavanebho Vaishnavebho Namo Namo Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Adaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare So dear Prabhus and Mothers, this chapter, it's very fascinating chapter. I love chapter 9 a lot. And we are here for actually, well, we do once a week, so it's a couple of months past, but it is so beautiful. Chapter 9. This chapter begins with the very clear message from the Lord that in order to understand who I am, who God is, what is our relationship with God, we have to be receptive with non-envious mood. Now, this is very clearly mentioned. First verse. Idam to te guhyatamam pravakshami anusuyave genam vijnanam sahitam jadgyatta mokshasya ashubha. So this is very clearly explained that if somebody say, well, I don't need this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. Do I need this knowledge? Well, if you want to be happy all the time, eternally, if you are searching for that happiness, uninterrupted happiness, yes, this is the only path. It is not a dogma or fanaticism that this is the only path. Well, who you are, a spiritual being, this is the only way you want to connect spiritual happiness forever. And if you say why this is the only path besides spiritual happiness, because it will explain you how did you get in the trap in this world, why death is coming, why old age is coming. And if you follow particular rules regulation of bhakti, then you will be eternally free. Okay, this knowledge sounds very logical. This is fact that we all want all the time happiness. What got to do with the non-envious mentality? Because non-envious mentality creates faithlessness. Sorry, envious mentality create faithlessness. So if you need to become faithless in order to prove you are non-envious. Now, some of us, it's difficult to comprehend what faith has got to do with envious. Because the Lord will reveal who He is. Can we accept it without doubt? And if you say, well, we're not a blind follower, we are going to accept it with a some kind of proof and logic, reasoning. Supreme Lord is Supreme Spiritual Master. He is going to reveal this knowledge. And if you accept it, then you will see the tangible result. And you don't accept it, that means you are envious. That's why Krishna pounded this. Asaddhana Purusha Dharma Shasya Parantapa. Aprapamam Nivartante. Mrityu Sangsara Vartmani. Mrityu Sangsara. You will stay in this world of birth, death, old age, disease if you do not believe my word. Wow. That's very fascinating from that angle. So then Arjuna asked the question, simple question. What is that you are trying to reveal to me that is so confidential? So then Krishna says, it is my relationship. Oh, okay. Why it is so confidential? I mean, you can just say your relationship. What is the mysterious about the relationship? Then Krishna revealed very interestingly, if you look at the text 4, very nicely, that yes, simultaneously all beings don't abide in me. Though they rest in me, they don't burden me. Behold my mystic opulence. Although all beings are sustained by me and are contained within me, I'm not contained in them. I exist beyond them as their source. You know, like in the computer, we have a remote control. I'm sure most of you are familiar with that. So Krishna is like that in our body right now. He's a remote controller, remote observer. He's not visible, but he's watching. Even right now, I'm speaking, you are hearing. Definitely, he's witnessing all. So he says, I exist beyond them as their source. I'm not contained in them, but they are contained in me. It's very interesting relationship. So then Arjuna asks, can you explain this complex relationship with an example so I can relate? So then Krishna gives a beautiful example on the text 6, if you look, it's beautiful. He said, just like you can contemplate like a mighty wind while going everywhere, still abides within the sky. So all living beings are moving. They claim they are free. They will do whatever they want. But actually, no, they are not free. They are within me, but they have their individual some freedom, how they will move around within me. Within me means within his material nature. Very interesting. Arjuna is very compassionate representative, I would say, for us. He says, when the living entity acts according to their free will, how do they abide within you? Then Krishna answered, they are constrained within boundaries of time. And at the end of each kalpa or yuga, all these living beings, Arjuna, go to my nature at a start of new kalpa. I again send them forth. Arjuna asked, isn't like beginning and end of this creation is the function of the your energy? How it's directly affecting you? Then Krishna says, well, that's true. You can say it is under Maya or material nature. But then Krishna says, nature belongs to me. Acting through my material nature, according to my will, nature is not deciding herself alone what she's going to do with each soul. Interesting. Okay, that's a good logic. Then Arjuna asked that if you send all these living beings into this world of suffering, aren't you implicated by their karma? A person who is stealing and person who helps him to steal, both are guilty, both are should be punished. In one sense, both are criminal. Well, Arjuna didn't say Krishna as a criminal, but he's asking that question. So in the text 8, what I found, or the way I look at it, yes, these actions never bind me, Arjuna, because I am seated as a judge, neutral. I am unattached to this action. I don't cause the suffering of the living being. It is the result of their own choice, own past deeds. That's why, Prabhus and mothers, we come to learn. Yes, we are within Krishna's creation. Krishna is ultimate controller. He is watching. He is also listening right now. We are discussing. But he gave us minute independence. How we utilize it causes us suffering or so-called enjoyment. So then Arjuna asks, okay, if you are neutral, what is your role in the working of material nature? Then Krishna says very nicely, I am its overseer. Under my supervision, material nature give rise to all being, moving and non-moving, within its rules. The universe revolves, living beings function within the boundaries of material nature and are held accountable by the laws, such as the law of karma. Arjuna is very kind. He asked, when you are overseer of material nature, why doesn't everybody understand your divine position? Then problem would be over. Okay, here is the boss. Come on, be favorable to the boss, Krishna, and done. Then Krishna replied, because some people are deluded, they despise and deride me when I manifest in a human form. Prabhu's and mother, I'm not going to attack any one of you. Ask yourself, do you really believe Krishna as he is? Or you have a doubt? Do you think he's just, okay, maybe we have to accept it, I guess. I don't know. You may like, well, what option do we have? I guess we have to accept it. Ask yourself what mental attitude you have right at this moment. So then Arjuna went further. What is their fate? Their hopes, their actions, their knowledge are all futile because their consciousness is misdirected, Krishna says. They end up of abiding in fiendish, demoniac nature. Then Arjuna again asked, it's like a conversation. The whole Bhagavad Gita is a conversation. You can put it. That's how I put it there. What are character of those who do not understand your divine position? Can you give us some example? Okay, first I give you the example, Krishna says, of those who understand me. Okay, who are they? They are great soul, Mahatmas. They abide in my divine nature, worship me single-mindedly, knowing me as the imperishable source of all beings. Is there an external characteristics of those who abides by you? Yes. Guess what they do? Krishna mentioned that in text 14. They glorify me constantly. Prabhus and mothers, are we glorifying Krishna every day? Ask yourself, are you glorifying Krishna? So Krishna says, they glorify me constantly. They endeavoring with firm vows. They honor me with devotion. When they come to temple, they bow, they pay obeisances, they worship me, they sing my glory. Very nice. Then Arjuna asked, between these two groups, who don't care you, who don't believe in you, who consider you like one of them, one of the ordinary, like another guy on the street or something, and those who glorify you, adore you, love you, bow down to you, is there anybody in between, in middle? Arjuna is just like from Alachua. No, I'm just kidding. He's not from Alachua. I mean, he's a Krishna's eternal associate. But he's asking a question, we can relate. So he said, is there anybody in between? Is there a category? Then Krishna says in text 15, you'll see, it's beautiful. Yes, those who try to gain knowledge by performing sacrifice, they arrive at the three conception of divine. Ekattena, pritagattena, bahuda vishwata mukam. Beautiful. Krishna is so kind that he actually considered anybody worshiping anywhere, anything, anyone. He considered they are actually trying to worship me. Wow, that's very far out. The Krishna actually considering they are worshipping, even though not directly to Krishna, but Krishna is considering they are also worshipper because at the soul level, these are all devotee or going to be devotee, potential. Then Arjuna asks, what is lacking if sacrifice lead to conception of the divine as oneness? What is lacking? Then Krishna reply, those performing such sacrifice don't know that oneness that underlies and unites all aspect of the sacrificial ceremony is me. I am the ritual. I am the sacrifice. I am the offering. I am the healing herbs. I am the sacred chant. I am the clarified butter. I am the fire. I am the pouring out ghee of the oblation. Wow. That's very far out for Krishna to reveal this secret that actually he is all of this. So Arjuna further asked the question, does your unifying oneness extend beyond the sacrificial ceremony? Lord Krishna replied, it extends to the entirety of existence. I am the father of the universe. Gatir Bharta Prabhu Sakshi Nivasarnam Surit Prabhava Pralaya Sthanam Nidhanam Bijam Abhayam. Wow, very beautiful. I am both the object of knowledge and the means to knowledge, which includes any purifying agent. Sacred syllable Om, the Rig, Sam, and Jujur, Batharva. So this way, a conversation went and went for a while until Arjuna asks, those who worship you, how can they attain something more enduring? Then Krishna very nicely explained, they worship me, they keep their thoughts on me. How they worship? Not just going to temple and bowing down. Who you are bowing down? Why you are bowing down? Who is Krishna? This has to be thought. And then Krishna says, they do not deviate. Those who serve me without wavering, I become the provider of what they don't have, protector of what they have. Prabhus and mothers, we don't need to worry about what will happen our future. If you look at the text 22, 9th chapter, Krishna gives the guarantee. You become his devotee, he will protect what you have and he will supply what you need. So this way, this conversation went on. Then Arjuna asked, when you are the source of everything, including all the gods, is their worship entirely disconnected from you when somebody worship other gods? Then Krishna replied, people who faithfully worship the gods also worship me, Arjuna, but they do so in ignorance. Then Arjuna asks, what is their ignorant, what they are ignorant of? Then Krishna says, their ignorance of my supreme position. I am undoubtedly the enjoyer, only enjoyer. I'm just adding it because actually the verse says like this. And I'm the only master of all sacrifice. Those who don't recognize me in truth fall down. So then Arjuna asks, when the worshipper of demigods attain heavenly abode, why are they considered fallen? You know, if you get a telegram tonight that, oh, so and so died and went to heaven. And if you really have access to see that they are in heaven, would you call that fallen position? Maybe the devotee will, because if they know the secret of Bhagavad Gita. But those who don't know the secret of Bhagavad Gita, they will say, no, they're in heaven. What's wrong? That's very good. They'll live a long life and enjoy. I mean, every parents, even as a devotee parents, when they hear their children are having a big salary or new job or new car or something they got, oh, that's so nice. Well, I'm not saying that you should not. I'm just saying that we do act like that way. So then Arjuna asked that question. When they achieve this heaven or opulence, why you are considering them as fallen? Then Krishna explained in text 25, because worship of any being other than me takes the worshipper to only temporary destination. Be it the realm of the gods attained by those who worship the gods, the realm of ancestor attained by those who worship the ancestor, or the realm of ghost, janti devo bratana devan, pitrinjantri pitribrata, bhutani janti bhuteja, majjajino imam. And then he said, but those who worship me will attain me alone is eternal. Everybody else, temporary. Even if you go to Indra's abode or Ganeshji's abode, when destruction comes, annihilation comes, the planet is finished, the body of the demigod is finished, he is back to zero, living entity. I mean, not zero, but living entity is being back to zero, conditioned soul again. And you also back to zero. There's nothing exists. So that's why Krishna is not putting negative. Krishna is just stating a fact. That's why that position is called fallen. How can you be, then how can you be worshipped? Arjuna's question was very legitimate. Krishna says very simple that those who offer me with devotion a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or water, simple, very simple. That offering of devotion, I accept. And end of life, they will come back to me. Okay. What other way can you be worshipped? Only this offering leaf, flower, no other way? Krishna answered, yes, through all activities. Jat karoshi, jat snasi, jat johoshi, jadasi jat. Jat tapasyashi kunteya, tat krishna madarpanam. So very lovingly, Krishna's answered that whatever they do, whatever they like to do, they should do it for me. That's all. What is the result for those who act in that way, that they do for you, whatever they do? Well, they will be liberated, Krishna assured in text 28. Krishna says that they will be liberated from their bondage of karma, which is bad and good result, but instead they will be out of it, out of whole cycle. And because they will have a yogic connection with me, steadied by renunciation, they will attain complete liberation and come to me eventually. Then Arjuna asked, for whom are such opportunities for liberation available? Can you give a little more details? That was very nice. Arjuna asked like that. Then Krishna reveals, for everyone, I'm equal to every living being. Never I am partial to anyone. No one is disliked by me. I hate no one. It's so nice. Krishna just boldly said, I hate no one. Nor is anyone preferred by me. Yet, those who worship me with devotion are in me and I'm in them. So that's not it's like a rich man who is always helping others, but he's little more affectionate to his children. It's not any fault in him. So those who come to Krishna, he is very close to them. That's not fault of Krishna. That is natural reciprocation between him and his. Then Arjuna's question was, does everyone even include those who have done terrible misdeed? What a nice, thank you, Arjuna, Prabhu. I hope you all thanks to Arjuna when you meet him. Krishna says, yes, even if grievous wrongdoer worship me with undivided devotion, they are to be considered righteous, for their determination is rightly situated. So that's why we stopped last week, but we didn't finish the whole purport. We went towards the end. We were running out of the time because we had another class. So I'm going to the Prabhupada's last part of the purport I'm just reading. The devotional service is more or less a declaration of war against the illusory energy. Wow. Hari Bol. Chanting Hare Krishna means you are in the middle of war against Maya. Look at the way Prabhupada said it. Devotional service is more or less a declaration of war. What am I doing? I'm honoring Prasadam. How am I fighting against Maya? You are voluntarily choosing not to accept any food that is not offered to God. That's called fighting against Maya. As long as one is not strong enough to fight the illusory energy, there may be by accidental fall down. Aha! Prabhu's and Mother, let me read that sentence again. As long as one is not strong enough to fight the illusory energy, there may be by accidental fall downs. But when one is strong enough, he is no longer subjected to such fall downs, as previously explained. And then I remember we read this last sentence. No one should take advantage of this verse and commit nonsense and think that he is still a devotee. If he does not improve in his character by devotional service, then it is to be understood that he is not a high devotee. So there is a lower devotee and higher devotee, I guess. So we were discussing on that. We are going to first. So I made a little note just an hour before that let's discuss for why Gyanis. You may say, why you bringing Gyanis? Is there a Gyanis in America? Yes, they are all over the universe, everywhere. Gyanis means they hear Bhagavad Gita, but they want to have their own idea. That's all it is. They don't want to accept the authority. They will steal Bhagavad Gita knowledge from Bhagavad Gita, but they don't want to give a credit to Prabhupada or Krishna. They will speculate. Who is speaking Bhagavad Gita? Or the God within Krishna. They'll just say whatever they like to say. Whatever, because I am inside my body, or God is also inside Krishna's body. This is nonsense. Actually, nonsense is a good word to them. This is, I would say, criminal mentality. So in Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 2nd chapter, text 32, Je anyarabindaksha vimukta maninas tayasta bhavada vishuddha buddhayam arujya krichena param padam tata patanti adho anadrita jusmadangraya. In other words, anadrita. Anadrita means they do not adore. You don't love the lotus feet of the Lord. So as a result, you can try to climb up in your spiritual practice. But if you do not develop love for God, love for Krishna, there is always chance for you to fall down. Doesn't matter how hard you work, how much sadhana you do, but if you do not develop love for Krishna, there is always chance to fall down. Now, let's go to the reverse way. Next verse, it is not popular verse, but it is very popular to me because I love that verse also. But generally, you don't hear too many speakers talk about that. Tatha nate madhava tavaka kachit prashanti marga taibadha sorida Tai abhigupta vicharanti nirbhaya vinayakaniku murdhasho prabhu. So Srila Prabhupada translate, O Madhava, Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord of Goddess of Fortune. If a devotee completely in love with you, very nice, completely in love with you, sometimes fall down. Hey, that means you can be in love and fall down. What? Yeah, you look at that verse. That completely in love with you, sometimes fall from the path of devotion. Fall from the path of devotion means they may not even serve the Lord for a little time. They do not fall like non-devotees. What does that mean? What is the difference? Then the next part of the translation, for you still protect them, and thus they fearlessly traverse the heads of their opponent and continue to progress in devotional service. This is so nice. And I remember reading Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur commentary on that. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur put a little logic. He says, why do the Gyanis get criticized so heavily? Gyanis fall down, they get criticized. Bhakta fall down, they don't get criticized. I'm not supporting or saying that it's okay to fall down. No, that's not my point. It's a very nice way Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur put it. And then he gives the name Bharat Maharaj, Indradumna Maharaj, Chitraketu Maharaj. They're chief devotees. But nobody ever criticized. They recognize they fall down and the lesson we learn. But they don't say, oh, he was a rascal. No, nobody said. Neither Krishna nor any devotee. The devotee on the path of bhakti do not fall like, the whole point is they do not fall like Gyanis. What does that mean? Even if they fall, in that state, remain firmly attached to your lotus feet. Though Chitraketu, Bharat and Indradumna fell in the bodies of Brata and others, the love increased 100-fold. For an example, Bharat Maharaj, you can say, apparently fell down because he was thinking of the deer so much. It's very important, Prabhu's and Mother, I give you a very simple, plain English. You draw your emotional shelter, like hugging, kissing, you feel your relationship. Where you draw from, it will determine next birth, next body. Jara Bharat, no, he was not a Jara Bharat, he was a King Bharat. Jara Bharat is the after. So King Bharat, he would draw his loving affection from hugging the deer, kissing the deer, thinking of the deer. In the middle of Arati, he was offering lamb. He would say, oh no, where are you, dear? Well, I'm making a little dramatic, but So he would stop the Arati. Would you like to stop the Arati to the Lord looking for the deer? But he was attached. So at the moment of death, where his lalan palan portion came from means his hugging, kissing, his emotional shelter. Gave him the body, he in a sense forced to get it. But what happened? Why he's not fall down? Because in the deer body, he did something he could not do in the human body. In the deer body, he could not offer lamb or obeisances. Well, I don't know. Maybe deer body could do that, I guess. I see the elephant sometime bow down the trunk in Mayapur or South India temple. So sometime probably you could, but not really much. Not like full obeisance. So anyhow, but one thing he did, which was striking, we can learn from it. He regretted. How did I waste my life like that? Why I did not think? Why I was attached to deer? Now I am in a deer body. And guess what? The other deer would say, come on, we are in this species. I mean, they didn't say this species. I'm just making a little dramatic. The other deer says, come on, it's a time to play, have fun. Not hanging around near the ashram of his sages. We are deer. We should enjoy, jump, run, like whatever the deer does. We have deers in the Alachua, so that's why I know. We see it. Even yesterday we saw it. Every day morning you can see the deers. We have many deers. They come from the forest, not our deers, but they are all around our ashram where we are. So he was regretted so badly. He was praying, wishing when the death will come, when the death will come. So I can get a body where I could practice. So that's why, even though he's a dear body, but it is not considered fallen because he was fully aware of Krishna consciousness. Isn't so nice? That verse, Neha Vikramanashasti Prattavayona Vidyate Salpam Apiyasya Dharmasya Trayate Mahato Vayat. That if we do little service, if somebody stays in a Bhakta ashram for 1 month, 3 months, even if they die immaturely and get animal body or some other body, the bhakti that they did even 1 month is not lost. Even for a day is not lost. It's so nice. So in the dear body, the King Bharat, he was thinking, I am just going to stay around these ashrams and listen the sages' recitation of the Vedas. So it didn't fit with the other deers. And in due course of time, death came. Was not like a intensely death. No, everything, you have to be patient. Just because I was Mahabhagavat last life, now I'm in a deer body. Can I just die right now? No, it has its time. So intensity and pure desire, purity, pushed him to take a birth where from his childhood he was fully aware who he was. And he said, I'm not going to fall for anything. That's why it is not considered fallen position, this 3 life he went through. Rather, for the lesson, for us, Krishna created that scenery for through this devotee. Krishna could take him back, definitely. But the lesson has to be learned that we have to be careful. So thus convinced Lord's protection, they tread over the heads of the devas. Those devotees, literally. His father was trying to teach him so many things. He did not care. He was acting like a dumb. His brothers, siblings were torturing him, literally, because he's dumb. They would eat all the good food. Can you imagine? They treated their brother like this. It's not like Jarabardu was dumb. He was acting as a dumb. He was not born as a dumb. There's a big difference. Like we feel foolish at the lotus feet of Guru, but we don't act like a fool. There's a big difference. We'll feel foolish at the lotus feet of Guru, but we will never act as a foolish. So like this, King Bharat gave a good example. How this little mistake can take us to 2-3 life, but nonetheless, it is not loss. Now, regarding this verse, I tell you a beautiful pastime that I saw in Bhaktivinoda Thakur's writings. One time, Bhaktivinoda Thakur had a dream in which he was wandering in the sky, chanting the holy name. Now, Prabhu's and Mother, it is interesting. When you go to sleep, I don't know where you keep your Japamala. It's good to have a Japamala always nearby. How you organize, I don't know. But don't keep Japamala in your car and you go to sleep in your room. Keep always Japamala nearby. It's this is just my suggestion. I'm not saying you have to. I learned from Bhaktivinoda Thakur many things on this. That any moment, if there is some danger or anything, put your hand in the Japamala, start chanting. Your connection is solid. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he was sitting and he was chanting, chanting, chanting. All of a sudden he realized he's like in the cloud somewhere. He's like, where did I come? How did I come here? He was sitting in his house. And all of a sudden he noticed Narad Muni and Jamaraj there. And then he also sitting, still sitting. And there's a Brahmaji, Narada, everybody discussing a point about Bhagavad Gita. Prabhu's and mother, Narad Muni, Brahma, they also discuss about Bhagavad Gita. It is not only ISKCON devotee discuss. We are trying to distribute Bhagavad Gita. The demigods, the big, big demigods, Brahmaji, they discuss. Bhaktivinoda Thakur witnessed this and he writes this. What they are discussing, these verse that we are discussing, 9.30. Api cheta sudarachara bhajate mamanandava sadureva samantabha sammagbeva shitahisha. So the general accepted meaning of this verse is, even if one commits the most abominable action, if he is an Anandabhak devotee, who worship me alone in devotional service, which is free from karma and jnana, he is to be considered saintly because his endeavors are completely on my behalf. And his determination is fixed. Here Krishna says, whatever he has done, if he is exclusively given to myself, he should be considered as my devotee. You can look at the word, Shammak Beba Shita Hi Sha. Very soon, he will be a person of righteousness. He will become dharma, dutiful. As Jamaraj, Brahmaji and Narad Muni discussed this point, a question came up. Now, if you are a little bit aware of Sanskrit, you can look at these two verses. This verse and next verse, if you look at, if you are little familiar with Sanskrit, you will catch it. It says that even if he commits sinful activities, he still becomes dharmatma. So Jamaraj, Brahma and Narada discussed this point and question came. Krishna says, Bhajate ma manandava. One who is my exclusive devotee. Exclusive devotee means very advanced devotee. So question arises, what is the exclusive devotion or ananya bhajan means? Krishna says, give up all your religious conception and surrender to me alone. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam saranam braja. That is exclusive devotion. But if one is practicing, Prabhus and mothers, exclusive devotion, then he is already dharmatma. How is he righteous? He's already righteous. How is going to be righteous? Because next verse says, Shipram bhavati dharmatma. Shipram means very quick. They will become very quickly righteous. Now the question comes, if he was already the Ananya Bhag devotee, then how can he be righteous after? So it's very interestingly, Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes, I was so happy when I read that. He said, I'm just paraphrasing. When Bhaktivinoda Thakur heard that discussion, then They literally asked Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Prabhus and mothers, our acharyas are very advanced. Even Narad Muni, Brahmaji asked Bhaktivinoda Thakur this question. He soon becomes righteous and attains lasting peace. This is what Krishna says. O Sadhav Kunti, declare it boldly that my devotee never perishes. This is general meaning in this verse. So Krishna tells, he soon becomes Dharmatma. My devotee is never ruined. Go and declare this to the world. Krishna says that after the devotees become Anandabhav, that is, he gave up all sorts of duties, surrendered to me, then again he will become dutiful man. So as Brahmaji, Narada and Jamraj discussed this point, they saw Bhaktivinoda Thakur walking in the sky and taking the holy name. Now, don't ask me, how did he walk on the sky? I don't know. He wrote it, I'm just repeating what he wrote. Now, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is a great personality and you know, everything he's experiencing, he writes. Then Bhaktivinoda Thakur was invited in the midst and was asked, how shall we adjust these points? Just imagine Brahmaji and Narad Muni asking this. Krishna has said this person is exclusive devotee, that he has renounced all sorts of duties and surrendered to Krishna. Yet, in no time, it will be seen that he is very dutiful. How can we understand this? Bhaktivinoda Thakur explained that, oh, he quickly become righteous, refers not to the exclusive devotee. He's not talking about the devotee. Krishna is not talking about the devotee who is Anandava. He's talking about who consider the exclusive devotee pure in all circumstances for him. Even if he performs some abominable act, he is considered sadhu and saint. Prabhu's and mother, I hope you got it. One who think that anybody is exclusive devotee, even if they fell down or apparently something, that they will become dharmatma. No, no, not that. If I believe that he is still a sadhu, that person, he or she is still a sadhu, that I will become dharma. Otherwise, it appears that it was redundant to say Ananyabhav, devotee become dharma. Krishna said that an exclusive devotee should be thought of as a sadhu, an honest man. One who says that an exclusive devotee, a surrendered soul to Krishna, should be thought of as pure, whatever be his external practice. The man who is making this remark, he becomes righteous. This is proper conclusion. We have 2 minutes, but I'll tell you another small story, very quick. Ballavacharya, during Mahaprabhu's time, he was there as a Mahaprabhu's associate also. So when he came to Vrindavan, he comes from Gujarat and he came to Vrindavan to open an ashram. Rupa Goswami Pad was staying there also. So one of his follower, his son was Vittaleshwar. He was a married devotee. Son was Vittaleshwar. So he was saying, Ballavacharya, of course, he was an elderly devotee. So they would carry him in a kind of a palanquin. It's not palanquin exactly, but you know, anyway, it's something like that in Vrindavan they were carrying. So few followers going with the kirtan and few followers in the front, moving the road so that they can just go through. Because Vrindavan's, I guess that those days was very narrow road. So one Brajavashi, he is cleaning the road and on the side he's doing some work. So this Ballavacharya's follower, he says, hey, move, 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 move. the great uh, Ananya Bhakta, same word he used, is coming. You have to move. He said, Ananya Paranna, I don't know all these words. I'm busy. He said, no, Ananya Bhakta is coming. Ananya Paranna, I don't know. Now, by this time, this discussion, Ballavacharya already listening this conversation. He was just little far behind. Now he already nearby. So he told the carrier, put me down, put me down. I never heard this word. What is Aranna Paranna? What did he say, the Brajavashi? Because he knows the Brajavashis are advanced. So he goes to this elderly Brajavashi. He said, excuse me, I studied many scriptures. I never found this word you mentioned, Ananya Paranna Bhakta. What is Paranna Bhakta? I don't know. Can you explain me? He said, so this Brajavashi asking this question, and Brajavashi now asking him, Ballavacharya, he said, your disciple said, you are Ananya Bhakta. You explain first what is Ananya Bhakta. Then I will tell you what is Paranna Bhakta. So then Ballavacharya says, well, Ananya Bhakta means you will find so many types of worshipper in this world. And when they worship, you will see they uplift themselves, then they worship the demigod instead of ghost and goblin, other worshipper. They eventually come to worship God, other gods. And then when they worship demigods, then they uplift their consciousness by the mercy of Vaishnava. Then they understand that Vishnu worship is the highest. So they, instead of worshipping everybody else, they go to demigod. Instead of demigod, they worship Vishnu. After they come to Vishnu, then they finally understand that Nanda Maharaj's son, Krishna, is the object of or origin of all Vishnu. That is called Ananya Bhakta. Now you tell me what is Paranna Bhakta, you said, Ananya Paranna. He said, whatever you said, all these things, I don't give any attention to this. I don't have time. I only know Nanda Baba, Josoda Maya, Radharani, Krishna. That's all I care for them, what they need. That's all my life is. I don't understand all this, your explanation, neither I need to know. Vallabhacharya folded his hand. He said, okay, this is Brajavashi. They only care for Krishna and Nandava and Yashoda. That's all they need to know. They don't need to know how many types of worship are, how do you come to that level, this level. They don't need to know because they are already in top level. So this is how explanation was given. Okay, I'll end here. Prabhus and mothers, thank you for joining this beautiful session. And we are looking forward to see you all next Wednesday with Bhagavad Gita text 31. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.